The world of the cellular infrastructure is going to go through some exciting changes over the next few years. The changes that are going to happen are both going to be technological in nature and they're going to be structural in nature. These are going to be quite profound. First, the cellular RAN or radio access network infrastructure, which is vertically integrated today, is going to become horizontal and far more disaggregated than it is today. This change in scope and scale is very similar to what happened to the computing industry back in the 1980s. If you remember, in 1980, it isn't as though computing didn't exist. Computing existed. You had the likes of IBM, Digital Equipment, Wang, Data General, many companies which basically were vertical in structure. And the saying in those days from the CIOs was, nobody ever got fired for buying an IBM. Yet in a mere 20 years, 1980 to 2000, the computing industry became horizontal. The advent of the PC made the economics super compelling to effectively buy disaggregated computing. You had CPUs being made by multiple vendors, systems being made by multiple vendors, software coming from multiple vendors, applications from a number of vendors. In the process, the world of computing grew in size dramatically. The pace of innovation increased dramatically. Ultimately, the beneficiary was corporations that bought computing, and the cost of computing kept going down. That horizontalization of the computing industry ultimately ushered in cloud computing, which is there today, and it continues to usher in lower costs, lower total costs of ownership for enterprises and ultimately consumers of computing. That same change is likely to happen to the radio access network infrastructure. The telecom operators in 2018 put together the ORAN Alliance. The purpose behind the ORAN Alliance was to effectively enable this disaggregation so that the RAN infrastructure could move from a vertical orientation to more of a horizontal orientation. Second major change is effectively going to be the shift from a single tenant RAN to a multiple tenancy of the RAN. This is going to be profound from the standpoint of reducing the overall total cost of ownership. Previously, this was technically not possible. However, with the advent of containerization, virtualization, machine learning, and slicing, this becomes possible. And in much the same way that cloud computing evolved and enabled a lot of this to happen on the computing side, these technological advancements are going to enable the movement on the RAN side from single tenancy on the RAN to multiple tenancy of the RAN. And this is the most significant way that operators are going to be able to reduce their total cost of ownership. Last but not least, performance matters. Disaggregation of the RAN, moving from single occupancy to multiple tenancy, all of those can only be possible and only be enabled if performance of the RAN actually improves. Performance cannot take a backseat. And one of the most powerful tools we have today is machine learning. The applicability of machine learning at every layer of the RAN stack, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, every layer of the RAN stack has huge implications for the opportunity to improve performance, and in the process, not only improve performance, but also improve total cost of ownership. Ultimately, TCO is not just about cost. TCO is about performance, and the more performance one can be able to deliver in the RAN stack, the better the TCO actually gets. IRA is formed on two premises. One, Open RAN is going to be extraordinarily powerful in driving the shift from a vertical structure of the industry to a horizontal structure of the industry. And number two, machine learning has the opportunity to deliver profound improvements in performance at a very fundamental and basic level. And this is what we do. We do this on a day in and day out basis to improve the performance of the RAN so that we can bring down the total cost of ownership, so that operators can service more subscribers and deliver richer capabilities and services to those same subscribers.